I've now. Bennett. Preston. Ooh. Ow. All right. Um. I don't know. Not doing anything. It doing something. Getting weird. What the heck happened? Literally. Okay, so it's working, but I have to crush the software. Okay, so going on YouTube. Poor? What do you mean poor? Well, okay. Yeah. Buffering. Okay. It's just game. Right. Get out there, you bald head. Yes. Yes, because.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino
What?
and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here. Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. Don't worry, I'll save
Bro,
your progress.
I just
always,
played the freaking
even your
game.
mistakes.
Alright, they're not meant.
This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking.
Hey, you can say that.
The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products.
Oh. And they lift up some metals. Woo! Yeah. Ah. Okay. Woo! Ah. Long day. Oh. Yep. 5 meters long. Ooh, ooh. Hope your pants something. Hey there. Ooh, ooh. That was cool. There is a technique to it. Yeah. Woo. Whoa. 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 Yes. Oh, no. Yes. Sweating. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Ooh, look at that progress. Ooh. Oh. Ooh.
In a certain way, sexy hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer.
Like this
That
one?
act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the
Oh,
game its
yeah.
flavor.
Oh,
No
yeah,
amount of
baby.
forward progress is guaranteed.
Oh,
Some
ooh.
cliffs are too sheer or too slippery, and the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start sexy hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over.
Heck,
And
man.
there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in sexy hiking is real.
Well, I need to know that. Where in this world that knowledge, piece of knowledge or information, do we even call that information is useful in this game, in this scenario, in this game? Come on, Bennett. This guy is. Hi, Bennett. Sure do look like a Bennett to me. Hey, 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 hey. What? Forget about Lane. Turn on the AC, man. What? Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. What? Ooh. Yeah, I made it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 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 Dude, stop doing that. What are you, a ninja? Yeah.
Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
How do you understand? Whoa. Whoa. Woo, yeah. Yeah.
Oof, sorry about that.
You guys remember this thing? You guys remember this? Not so. I'm trying to calm. What? Sherlock Holmes. This is Sparkle. Come on, dude. Shh. They're coming. There's a type. So, I actually. Uh, oh, actually. What happened? That. That's what. Oh. So hot. Anyway, let's get here. Video. Let's try ginger shot. Lemon and honey ginger shot by the ginger people. The ginger people. Smell. Okay, so can you hear it? Okay. Hi. Okay. Just let's play Sharko. I actually paid. I'm just gonna pretend that I did not. Face of. And it's the good one. Height of a black pitcher. Riddle on the rail. Bloodbath. I actually did not finish this. A big. Key Gardens drama. What? Off Main Rock, man. I guess this is a really cool. Yes. Sure. This is a really good one. Really.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet. They...
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course,
Like to eat that.
sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Do those
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I
I'm
know
home?
he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
What is he
From
doing?
what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes.
That's
we
Simon
have
from
to-
his Sidemen.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Off, man. Right? Right there. Right there.
This is where I keep my post.
Alright, mate. Let's go. Change some clothes. Right. Casual suit. Black suit. Basic. Eight. Standard up. Running down. I like the bat. Black suit. So weird. It's alrighty. Right, oops. What are you doing, bro?
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't want to say that. Nice. Excellent.
A map of life.
Live in London. Right. What do we have here? Lag. Oh, the lag. What's going on, mate? Come on. What the heck? Oh. What is it? How do you... Eh. %, CPU. 91%. Oh. Can you stop, mate? Oh my gosh. Frick. Sorry. What? And good. Oh my gosh, what? Computer. Why am I pressing W and like or snap? Pen setting. No pen setting. Bro, what is happening? Heck. Okay, good. Heck. Hey, wrong way. Alright, it was good.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes. Is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr.
First
Holmes,
name?
back in
Own?
88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Oh.
Of course, Mara. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
Well, dude. Listen.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer chap. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
Oh. What the victim?
Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stat fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
Alright, I'm just mugging.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon
Paying
Street?
attention, by the way.
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
You said. What the name of the rats?
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
Arts?
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes,
cares?
I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Oh, God.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Alright. That's the guy. Ooh.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
Fuck up.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look.
It's like a piece of wood.
This shard of wood is quite new.
Yeah, because no, it's seems and to it looks like a key.
This
Looks
is
gonna be
an
deceiving.
key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Mr. Holmes, I had no doubt about this case, but now that you are here...
Okay. Maybe with that one. My goodness.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death
Right,
is
bro.
not instant.
Your face, bro. Just your.
The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there.
Right, bro.
Brian Vercotti suffered greatly.
Yeah.
What a terrible way to die.
And look, stupid. This is what happened when you live stream. Okay. I've been watching way too many actual speed. Wait.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Let's do it. I know. Balaclava. I don't think lava, man. Eh. Never heard of it.
Could you tell us everything
Yeah,
that you
Jen.
may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, did you see anyone
Then
else?
Christ and died.
No, I saw no one but that man. The murderer. The fellow they caught.
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
I just forgot what you said, man.
I'm so glad that the murderer has been caught.
What are you talking about? You're not the fine. No, Turner's view. Mr. Turner stated that you remained at the window of his flat until the police arrived. However, this is in conflict with Marrow's statement. Constable did not see anyone at the window. Or alright, hey, we going?
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
Honey, what are you doing?
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
Your brother Tom Hiddleston. Don't worry, Benedict Cumberbatch. Ooh,
This
mirror.
mirror is turned towards Half Moon Street.
Happened.
Locked.
Get that key.
Locked.
The key. Locked. Locked. Look at him. Hello, Polly Powell.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Stupid. Tell to
Will you
me.
tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
Oh,
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Such a young man, and already a murderer.
man. I did break a door. Yeah, that's it. I read it. And I did that. Alright, look. Right, let's go to Scotland Yard. Thought I was in. Am I in Scotland? Did the game just crashed? No. No, don't tell me. I am that dumb. Phew. I was stupid or something, man. For the game. Also. Alright. Oh, the game crashed. That's... Oh, there's quite high in it. Good. I increase the gamma for you guys now. Hello, gamma. Yeah, that. Gamma in it. Leo, 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 Leo. All right. Continue, please. Don't. Oh, Scotland Yard. Yard. Scotland Yard.
Mr. Holmes,
Hello.
whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Mr. Holmes, what is the trouble with that lad? Isn't he guilty of murder?
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Are you talking about my nose?
Mr. Holmes, what is the trouble with that lad?
Gosh.
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon.
Right, round it.
It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Shots for five. And
Two out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots. A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
Apple. Before we do talk, can I take a revolver? Any shot. They could have the cross shots saying hey shot the thing goes hot right behind there. Right.
Please escort this suspect
God.
for interrogation. Good evening, Mr.
Oh,
Chapman.
you look like a.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
What's wrong with people? Wow. Is you? Here.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Wall Street.
Oh, man.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
What about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
All right, man. Ay, man. It's a double murder. Leighton Chapman committed a double murder. Damn, Chapman, this block a criminal. Doesn't deserve life. Leighton Chapman may be young, but he's already a vicious murderer who killed a present acquaintance with a long-standing grudge. Serves life imprisonment. Serves time. Despite committing murder, Leighton is young, albeit foolish, and impressionable man. His younger brother, Wigan, would have completely alone. Leighton's sentence will be. I'm telling you, opened, not man. Or
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, what is the trouble with that lad? Isn't he guilty of murder?
one a.m. Need to sleep. Got any of these? No. Right, Doctor Who, whatever.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Papers. Would you like
It would
to
be my
not
pleasure to
work,
assist you with your
please?
investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Oh. There's an ad.
A fairly long pole with a forked end. A fairly long pole with a forked...
Get that? The Sherlock walks normally, would you?
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp. This should be useful.
If it were you. Easy. Oh. Oh.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh.
There goes aim.
Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
Dude.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
How about you get out of here? Oi. Like me, mate.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies. Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Oh, well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly. Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
Roused? Mr. Turner was roused.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Aha.
The papers are almost entirely burned. I'm unable to see what's written here.
Says,
These words are illegible.
it says subscribe to
Thrown
Salvador.
into the fire just a short while ago.
Upside. Yes.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago. A perfect match. So,
Right,
Mr. Turner
damn it.
broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Be there. Just be here. What is it, Tyler? Not to turn away from me.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp. There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
He's just like anxiously like. What's up?
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
Well, like I know what I care about.
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Nathan Chapman standing over them.
Again. Oh. Down. Push them. Out of here. Hey.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Dick. Footprints.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
Footprints. Footprints. Footprints.
Well now, what a find. A precious jewel, concealed inside a book.
Hang on.
A bracelet with a unique ram's head design. A distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Right. Piece of pie, you know, piece of flipping tongue.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself,
Well,
to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to very quickly, despite my age, and when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're